Morning Flosstube, it is Helen D. I'm back a week early. It's the 28th. Today it's a Monday. I'm filming a day early, a week early. I'm gonna put my phone on Do Not Disturb now while I think of it. How are you? Next week was not going to work for me update filming wise, so I filmed the Here's What's Waiting in the Wings to be started video, and then thought I would do a regular update this video. Before we talk cross stitch, I picked my very first cherry tomatoes of the season. I have 4 because I told you our garden's doing terrible. I put them on the windowsill to finish ripening. Emmy just knocked 3 of them on the floor with her tail. We'll see if the 4th one lasts. So now I have to remember to pick those up. So cherry tomatoes aside, thank you for joining me today to talk all things cross stitch. Thank you to everyone who is a longtime subscriber or a new subscriber. All are welcome. I love to talk cross stitch with anyone who wants to listen. So that's what we're going to do. You would think in 1 week I wouldn't have that much to share. But I have 8 bags. Since I finished Witch's Hollow and Believe in the Magic of Christmas, I kind of have just been bebop stitching, where I just touch a lot of things. I have a lot of new starts in here. When I filmed the, hey, this is what's waiting to be started, I started 2 of them. And then I have another couple in here that were like, surprise starts. So that's what we have. For the 1 week since I've seen you, not much has gone on life-wise. It's been a regular week. Tennis, around the house stuff, that kind of stuff. I did have a fun day. I got together with Mary and her husband Tom. They were visiting Maine on vacation. So we met down at the quilt shop, Cotton Weeds in Freeport. And then there's a little Sam's, there's a Sam's Italian sandwich shop for those of you who like Maine Italians, right next door. So we walked over there for lunch and had Italians and just chatted. We could have chatted for hours, but I had momming to do, so I had to get home. And this family came in. I don't know how many kids there were, but it's a small place and it was loud. So that was great to see them. We've been emailing back and forth for years, so it was nice to finally meet Mary in person. So before we start in, you guys loved Kat's shark finish. So thank you for that, for all the comments. You're gonna need a bigger boat from Forbidden Fiber Co. She did change the words. I think the original says we're going to need, and she changed it to say you're gonna need, which is the exact quote from the movie. So that was great. I didn't know it would be so popular. But it was fun to see everyone's comments. Someone said, oh, you're gonna need a shark fin template. I threw it away. I didn't think that's something I would need again. So I chucked it, and that was 2 weeks ago, so it's long gone. Not that it couldn't be done again, but thank you guys for all the love on that. I didn't grab any FFOs. I do still have some of the ones that I finished up at the end of the school year, but they're all autumn. So I thought I've got enough to show without them today. I'll just skip it. So I'm not going to be showing any fully finished objects today. I don't have any finished objects today. I don't really have anything close to being a finished object. What I do have is whips and new starts, 2 of which are totally out of the blue. So you'll be as surprised as I was. So let's jump in. An update. This is one that I've been working on for a while, and I just haven't shown it in a while. This is my car piece, and it is the Narwhal Globe from Bent Creek. These are sold as a kit with the chart's in the way. The fabric and the pearl cotton. I'm doing mine with DMC on a 25 count Lugana. I think this is Whisper. I think the color is Whisper. It's a light It's a light gray, 25 count Lugana. I'm using 3 strands of DMC over 2 squares. And that's where I'm at. So as you can see, I can just fill this in. This is all filled in, and then I really just have the snowflakes around the top and his horn. And some white over here, it looks like. So this one I've just been plugging away on the car, in the car. I just hadn't shown it in a while and remembered to grab it. So I thought I will show it to you now. Give you a little update on that guy. I'm in no rush. That's just one. Now she's hitting my cherry tomatoes. That's just rude. That might be all I get. Next whip, this one didn't see a ton of love, and I think it's because I've kind of moved on to autumn things, but I still have a couple summery things that need some attention. I started East Coast Sampler with Sarah. And this is Jeanette Douglas Designs. This is one that if you were interested in, where's the title? East Coast. You would have to email her and ask. It's not on her regular website, but she will send you an invoice and then send you a PDF. So I had there's not much more from when you saw this last week. Sarah started after me and she's now ahead of me. I got the sun done. I'm working on this lighthouse. I'm not even sure if I had this one going last week. It's just a little bit. This fabric is a 28 count from Mystic Fabrics. It was part of a grab bag. 28 count Lugana. So there's that one. I'll just work my way up. And I pulled all flosses just from Stash because that one was charted in Dinky Dyes with no DMC conversion. So I just kind of made it up. The other piece, this one you saw last week, and I did a decent amount of this one. Santa's House, it's right in there. Santa's House, Cottage Garden, Samplings, Fabulous House. This was the first one that came out last year. So I'm working away on the house. I have this reindeer over, so I haven't done this reindeer and up the thinner section. So that's nice. So where I got, where was I? I think I was filling in this. All of this is new. So I got this all filled in. This side of the roof and all the snowflakes and border are done. This is ready to be filled in. And then I will do the snowflakes over here so that then I can just fill it in without having to count. This is on a light gray from a dyer that no longer dyes. So I don't know what it is. It's a 28 count Lugana, 2 strands over 2. This is the called for. It's Ladybug from Classic Colorworks. And this gray is Plymouth Rock, also from Classic Colorworks. It's a really nice light to dark gray. So this one, again, I don't know how much longer I'll keep it out before I fully switch to fall. But this one should be done this year. Like I'm far enough along that one will get done. I started this one last Christmas time, so that's good. Alrighty, next. Before we get to the new starts, the last of the whips. This was a car stitch for a long time, but then I hadn't touched it in a long time because I switched over. This is Real Comfort from Plum Street. And yesterday, Denise, Niecy Stitches, who is Because We Stitch, her channel with her cousin, she posted that she was starting it on Instagram because I think Brandy and Emma of B&E Stitchery were working on it, or Brandy or Emma, one of them, 2 of them, they were working on it. They got Niecy to want to work on hers. And then I'm like, well, I want to work on mine. And then I watched Chris the Camping Stitcher, and she was talking about pulling hers out, and I'm like, well, now I really need to work on mine. So real comfort, real big, real long way to go. I'm over here. I got enough done that I could move the Q-snap, so that was nice. So I'll hold the picture back up to show you where I am, although you can see. This is pretty much the edge of the green. I got these things in. I was here on the border, so I got all of this in. I had this guy in. And then I backstitched all these leaves. The leaves were called to be backstitched in 3 different colors. I had started that way and I didn't care for the way it looked. On mine, I'm using a 28 count, so I'm using 2 strands, so it's a little thicker. Some of the colors you just couldn't see, so executive decision, all of my leaves will be the same color, backstitched in the same color. So here's the chart. This is what I have done. All the rest of that is what I have left. So, yay. This stuff will go much quicker. This stuff will not. It took me forever just to get this little section done. So mine will be huge. We've already talked about this because it's on 28 count light taupe Lugana 2/2. Because I've learned about myself from past big pieces that got abandoned. When I try to do them on a smaller count so that they're not huge, I don't like the way my stitches look because it's so full coverage. Because I don't like stitching with 1 strand of floss. I know I'm the opposite of most people. I prefer stitching with 2 strands of floss. 1 strand, I just don't like the coverage and I think it breaks and it's not my favorite. So I figured if I want to actually get it done, stitch it on a fabric I actually enjoy working on. Will it be huge compared to someone who stitched it on 40 count? Yep. It will be big and beautiful. So I don't know. This one will get more work in the fall, definitely. I don't know how long it will stay out right now, but it was really nice to pick it back up. I love the colors in this one. I am using the called for, which is a mix of fancy floss and DMC. I think I did change, though there's like a whitish color that was called to be, I think 812, and I ended up changing it to 3866. I needed something a little brighter because the 812 was practically the color of my fabric, so I did. All right, you want to see some new starts? 2 of them are not impressive. The other 2 are impressive. So we'll start with a not impressive first. This one, did I put the picture in here? I needed another kind of easy to see project going. Magnet. So I started the next of my Satsuma Streets, and this one is Sweater Weather, and it's the Yeti. I'm not doing this one on paper. I'm going to do it on fabric so that I can finish it as a stand-up. So I thought, let me get started so that then it's easy to kind of pick up when I need something. This is on Zephyr, I believe, 14 count Zephyr from Picture This Plus. And that's where I am, which doesn't look like much, and I know it's a little hard to see, but I think it will be fine on this fabric because the white is solid and there's beads in it. So once I put the beads in, that will really make it stand out. I did lolly claws on this fabric, and that one you can see the white just fine. I think I did bump it up. It's Blanc, and I'm using B5200, so I bumped it up 1. But this one now is, like I said, ready to go. I got my 2 tall stitchers, Jen and Carol, on there to keep me company. So that one's ready. The next one's even more pitiful. When I was filming here's what I have kitted up. This one had just come in. We had talked about it on here. It had just come in and I just hadn't gotten it actually started yet. I needed to pull a fabric, and that is Party Crashers from Pedal Pusher. So this one is now available in shops. It's her new summer release. And again, I'm moving away from summer, but I'd like to get this one, if not done, at least started. And this is one that it's kind of like a pattern, right? The beach balls have a pattern. So I just wanted to, again, get it started. And that's literally all I did. That is the center, the top of the center flamingo. So now I know I can just pick it up and go. This one is 16 count Haven, because you need 16 count to fit on, or 32 to fit on the board. And the board is from Scarlet Sky Designs TX on Etsy, and I can link them. So tiny start so that I can kind of get that one going a little bit throughout the summer before it's fall. Okay. This next one, when I filmed the whip parade, the kitted parade, this one I pulled up and I was like, oh my gosh, seriously, I haven't started that yet. I need to start that. So I did. So when you see that video, which I filmed and will upload next week, and I talk about this one, yes, I started it. And I got a decent chunk. So this one, which I just dumped everywhere, is Philanthropic Pumpkin. So this was hands-on design. We all know this one is very hard to get. I already have a friend who I'm passing this on to when I'm done. This was the kit. It was a fundraiser, and she's not releasing it as a separate chart. I'm sorry. I've had this, I think I looked, and copyright 2021. So it's 2025. It was time to get this going. So I had the kit from when it was sold. I had pulled the DMC. It was all in the bag. The kit came with linen, which I won't use. So I pulled a Lugana. I think this is a 32, because I think it was called to be a 32, and that's like, there's a template and stuff with all the dimensions. So I got a good chunk done. So this little corner, that is done. Now I just have to repeat it 3 times. I kind of thought if I got it done once, then the next time I picked it up, it wouldn't feel as repetitive, like if it's been a bit, to move on to the next one. So I think this is an antique white. It doesn't look a stark white. So an antique white Lugana. One of my neighbors is, they hold a camp, and I can tell they're in the pool. So sorry if it gets a little loud. When I dropped my son off, we drove by and there was like 10 kids there. So, and then the last one, this one I'm excited about. It was in my folder of things that I really wanted to get to this year, and I thought Christmas in July, good time to get it going. So let's talk about this one. Let's tighten it up. Emmy must have stepped on it. So this is Tiny Modernist. I believe these are on her website. I bought this at the Jingle Ball last year, but I don't think it was a Jingle Ball exclusive. Tiny Modernist did a gingerbread house that wasn't exclusive, that she did say would be coming out this year. So this one is a set of 4. All of these had appeared in, I think it was Cross Stitcher magazine at some point in the past, but this is a collection of all 4. The Christmas Village set. So of these, I thought, hey, this one probably has the least amount of stitching. Let's start with that one. Yep, there's a zillion color changes, which you know I don't mind. The instructions for putting it together were in there. I did not take the class at Jingle Ball, which I should have, to kind of see how to put it together. You sew it as 4 separate pieces, and then you whip stitch them together. You mount them on like a thin board, and then you whip stitch them together. So this is one side, and it's all, I'm in the back stitching, so it's almost done. So this is one of the sides. And then all 4 pieces are different. So the other side has something different on it. I think there's a sled and a dog. Yeah, because it's right here. It's this one. I might be making up the dog. There's a sled. The dog might be on the back. This is the front, and then the back of the house is different too. So This one I'm doing on Light Taupe Lugana, 28 count. I love how the white shows up on Light Taupe Lugana. So, and it's kind of gingerbread house-ish, like it matched the picture. So there's side one. This was a scrap. I should have enough on the top to do side two, and then I'll have another piece that I can do the front and the back. You know, I'm probably leaving less margin than most people would, but I know I'm gonna fold this up and then sew right along the edge, so if it's difficult, it's on me. I only have myself to blame. So that one, I was glad to get started. It took longer than I thought because like there's 2 different greens in here and all these different colors, and in here, like it looks great and it will be so cool. I love 3D cross stitch. So that is my last new start. The only other one I have here, seems it's right here, and I'll show you. This one I showed last week too. This is the upcoming start on Snackle Lantern from Boomerang Stitches. I'm starting this with Laura, stitching on the shore, stitching by the shore. We're starting on July 31st because it's Halloween, so we're tying in the 31st. So this one, is that Thursday? I think that's Thursday. And I am going to, I think I'm still, unless I change my mind and pull a purple, I'm still going to use this Serene 14 count with all these fun colors. So that will be another one that once I get it going will be easy to work on because it's on the 14. There's a lot of fill-in stitching. So if you want to join us, that's available. I believe shops can get it, but it's also available as a PDF, and Boomerang Stitches just launched their own website, so I will link that below. So, purchases. It's been 1 week. I have 2 things. At Midsummer Stitch, I did order the exclusive fabric from Bestitch Me. It's called Midsummer. It's by Bestitch Me. I got a 14 count Ada. I would have gotten a 28 count Lugana, but that wasn't an option. 32 was, but 28 was not, so it's so pretty. So it's got all these colors in it. No, I don't know what I'm gonna use it for. But whenever I figure it out, it will be beautiful. On the 28 count, I thought it would be good for like a Mira or a Fancy Lady, but I don't like to do them on Ada because sometimes there's some fractional stitches. So, and I don't like to do them on a 32 because then the beads are tight, in my opinion, on a hand dyed. So I got this. The only other thing that came in is I had mentioned that I really want to start the Luna Moth from Shannon Christine, but I don't want to use Krynic, so I had ordered some dinky dyes. It's not really what I was hoping for. So it's Cobar. It's nice, it's beautiful. It's just not the color I was hoping it would be. So it's like a gold, but it's more of a coppery gold. I will use this for something else. I ordered 2 more. I got Pecan. I ordered them from Crafty Grimalkin, so they should be on their way. She had them. I had a little sample skein. I had done one of the dinky dyes. I don't know if they're grab bags, I think. They just have like, they're not quite a full skein. So I had a little piece of it that I could see the color. So I know it will work, and I'm afraid to start it because sometimes dye lots, the ones that come in might not match this little squid that I have. So I'm waiting, gnawing too patiently. All right, we have a bunch of giveaways. But before we do that, I had a couple people ask. I had mentioned that I was actually using a planner this year, which is not like me. I'm not one to keep great notes. And I wanted to see it. So this is the Cross Stitchers planner. I showed this more in depth when it was being sold at the end of last year. So this is by Lori of My Crazy Life. You can't get this one right now because she does, you know, 2025 is almost over. So in the fall, I believe, she will release the 2026. And Lori did send me this to share. So it has the big month and then like some extra pages. I'm not using this as much as other people will. I guarantee. So here's my big hump. Here's June. So I was doing good about keeping track of like starts and finishes and purchases and early finishes. That's kind of gone downhill. But I am using it to mark, you know, when I do a video, that's in orange. What did I do? When I have a new start, that's in blue. Green is like a get together. Oh, that's pink. I mean, sorry. That's yellow. Yellow's good because that means I finished something. So I finished 2 things that day. And then I have green for, like this was Stitch Main. So I've been using it for that. Then it has this page, which again, I'm not using, for like more in depth, where you can keep track of notes and what's for what sell and stuff like that, but I'm not using that. There's a whole bunch of pages in the back that are like Stitchy Kindness and retreats and stuff like that. I'm not using that. But I am using the whip list section. And I put some classy tabs. That one's to July. And then this one is to my whips. I love that it's spiral bound. So I have them all in here. And then when I finish one, I highlight it and I put the finish date. And that is as much record as I keep. And there's the current with all the ones I just started. So that's been nice to kind of keep track a little bit. Now I don't know where the cover is. So for those of you that wanted to see, here it is. Like I said, she'll have a 2026. There's some free charts in here too, some smalls. Mama Loves You GB, Ramey's Creations, I think there's 4 or 5. Cosford Rye, so there's some little charts in there too. So there's that. I'll link her Etsy shop, but they won't be on there now, but if you favorite the shop, then it will show you when new things are in stock. So, okay. Let's just move on to giveaways because I have a big stack and that's all the plans I have. I will upload the kitted video next week and then I'll be back in 2 weeks for the regular update. So we have 2 last calls. The $15, I probably will do a last call next video because this one's only been a week. $15 gift card to Cobweb Corner. Ginny Anderson. Ginny, I know you commented, but I never got an email or a message on Instagram with your address, so let me know. And then basket of cherries, Peg Younger. I haven't heard from Peg. All right, last week we had from Carla at Cobweb Corner, Heart Song. This is Cherry Blossoms. This is going to Kathy's Quilts and Stitching. A $15 gift card to Cobweb Corner is Loretta Lowe. And then I had 2 of the flamingos that had been sent in. Kathy Ramey and Julie Holahan, Holahan. So my email and my Instagram are down below. Reach out to me with your address and I will get those in the mail. This week, this video, and these I'll call, you know, the next time I do a regular update. So again, I have 2 from Carla at Cobweb Corner. I've had people talk to me and mention about how they're taking well advantage of her sales that she's had going on. And I always have Carla's information linked below. So for number 1 is the Embroideress from Erica Michaels. And this is a drum. I can't tell what it says fully, but there you go. Number 1. Number 2 is a Jeanette Douglas. Oh, I didn't even realize I have 3 Jeanette Douglases this week. Alphabet Annie is number 2. And then Margaret had sent me some charts. These are, because I was starting East Coast piece, she had some older Jeanette Douglas charts that she sent in. So we're gonna do 2 of them this week. So Seaside Stitches is number 3. Lots of specialty stitches. And the Bay State, Massachusetts is number 4 for all my Massachusetts friends. Now, heads up on these 2. I'm gonna check this one. These 2. There's no DMC conversion. Just be warned. They call for a bunch of fancy flosses. You can easily swap them out, but you would have to figure that out on your own. And then let's just check this one. Same thing. There's no DMC conversion. So this one calls for Gentle Art and Weak Style Works. But again, you could just pull your own. So just wanted to let you know in case that's not something you're interested in doing. Yeah, you need to be 18 so you can legally give me your address. Please don't say like, or not like, win or giveaway or that contest, and leave a comment using the numerical number, and I will use the comment picker. This is video 199, which blows my mind, but that also means next regular update will be video 200. So I've been pulling some extra fun stuff for giveaways for that video. So tune in for that. That's it. I hope you guys are having a good week and that it's not super hot. Did you notice my new fan? I bought a new fan. It's much quieter. It's a tower fan, and it has a little handle, and it's like my personal middle-aged lady fan. I'm just gonna carry it all around. So it was upstairs pointed at my chair, I carried it down. I'm still a little glistening, but I'm better. So that's much quieter and was over here. I'll be back in 2 weeks with a regular update, and next week with the What is Kitted. We'll see what else I start from that pile, because there's a couple more that are calling my name. So have a good rest of your day. Bye.